Depending on how long you've been trading Forex, I'm sure by now you have realized that the big moves happen the fastest. For example, here on the Euro US dollar, we have a large uptrend, a very large uptrending market for the past few weeks now. But obviously, in that uptrend, we do have retracements. Very large uptrend, but there will be retracements in this uptrend. You can see them. So, NFP was just a few days ago. NFP, the largest, one of the highest impact news events that take place in the Forex market. Happens once a month, and it affects all of the US dollar based pairs. What if you could catch the move before it happened? So for example, let's take this move. This is the Euro US dollar. Like I said, we're going to measure the move out from the bottom here to the top here. Bottom to the top, 3 days, 20 hours, and 30 minutes it took price to go up 162 pips. It then dropped 162 pips in 6 hours. 6 hours later, it took back all of what it did, all of what price had accomplished the entire week. It took back in 6 hours. Almost the entire week. It took back in 6 hours. How would you like to catch this or have a greater understanding of why this happens? Well, today's the day. But first, I would like to invite you to go to forexcommunity.online. You can type that into your browser right up here. It is our online community of traders, over 1,000 Forex traders located all around the world. It is basically a chat room where we send our analysis and trade ideas. Also, forexalerts.online is our analysis group, basically a channel where I send my analysis to you guys, and then forexiapro.com is our developing educational platform. So, to get started with this, taking, for example, the Euro US dollar. Now, this video is going to be based upon the easiest way to spot Forex market manipulation. Now, this is spotting basically bank manipulation, the big boys, how the large hedge funds and whatnot, hedge fund managers are playing the market, are working the pairs. So, correlation. What we know about correlation as retail traders is so limited that anything that you know right now, you can basically call BS, absolute bullshit. Take everything you've learned about correlation and just put it to the side right now. Each currency pair is made up of two different currencies, correct? So the euro US dollar is made up of the euro and then the US dollar. So there's the base and the quote. If we want to have a greater understanding of the euro US dollar, we're not just going to analyze the euro US dollar, and we're not just going to analyze the euro pairs if we want to understand the euro US dollar. We are going to understand the euro US dollar by analyzing all pairs related to the euro and the US dollar. So, the euro, we're going to analyze the euro GBP, euro JPY, euro AUD, euro CAD, euro NZD, and the US dollar, we are going to be analyzing USD CHF, USD CAD, USD JPY, GBP USD, AUD USD, and NZD USD. So, this was before NFP. Just looking at the euro right now, we can see basically the entire week has been a very strong uptrend. And then once it hit a certain point, which was about right in this area, once it spiked up, that one spike up, it had trapped enough traders up here to then be able to reverse. But you can see the euro kept working the high, but did not break that zone. It didn't break into that zone or go any higher than this point right here. So we can see for a day it respected the high, and then the next day it also respected the high. This was Thursday coming into Friday NFP, which happened right around here. So just looking at the euro when it was right here, for example, we can see that the high had not been broken. The high is not being broken, but yet price is working the high. Price is still working that high. So let's go on to the other euro pairs to see if there is any similarity between the euro USD working the high and our bias of it falling because the high has been created, and how the euro GBP, euro JPY, euro AUD, euro CAD, and euro NZD are all working their ranges. So euro AUD, the first one. Alright, euro AUD, very similar to euro USD. We have it in a major uptrend, and then the high was created here, broken right here. I guess you could call that a new high, but really they worked yesterday's high, and then you can see how, I believe this was NFP, how NFP was a spike up to work the high once more and then the drop. But we can see even before NFP, the euro was the stronger pair. The euro was working the highs. It was stronger at the time, but we could have expected it since it had not broken the high, we could have expected it to drop. So Euro AUD, very similar to Euro USD. Let's go to Euro NZD. Euro NZD as well had created a peak right here, this high, and then the high of the day was created right here and had been respected all the way through NFP. Euro GBP, as well, you can see basically the whole week a large uptrend, and then this huge movement to the upside. Obviously, there was a retracement that was going to be needed. They weren't going to just keep going up. They can't just keep going up like that. They have to have a ceiling. So, I mean, they can obviously they can go up for a very long time, but expect retracement every once in a while. So, especially when they're working the high like this. Euro NZD, Euro AUD, Euro USD, all working the highs. Euro GBP, we can see as well. This was the NFP release, I believe. This was the high of the week. NFP release was a spike to the high, and then we can see here was that little star formation that we have as a confirmation candle. Sell confirmation as them working the high, you could have sold there. But remember, we are analyzing the euro to understand the Euro USD. Euro was also working the high before NFP. Okay, Euro JPY. Euro JPY very similar to Euro NZD, how it had created the peak. So, very large uptrend, and then now it is retracing, and NFP, you can see there was the high of the day created before NFP, and then NFP, there was the spike to the high to take out any sellers and activate buy orders, and also get any breakout buyers to catch that as a buy. So you can see once the stop losses of the sellers were hit, that downtrend was initiated. Our last euro pair, the euro CAD. Now this was a this was perfect. All week, basically the whole week in an uptrend, a retracement was obviously needed. The high of the week was right here. The pin high, the candle close high was right here. Now, look at this. Asian session, entire Asian session, they were working this high, and then you can see right before NFP, it dipped below, it broke the out of Asian session to the low to activate sell orders, and then broke out to the high to activate buy orders and hit the stop losses of the sellers, and then came down to hit the stop losses of the buyers and continue their move downward. So we can see before NFP, even before NFP, all the euro pairs were working the highs, either the high of the day or the high of the week. They were all working the highs. So that is in our favor, right? We were expecting the euro to be working the high. We're expecting the big banks to be working the high because we analyzed Euro NZD, Euro USD, and we can see the high was created here, and their Asian session working the high. NFP is going to be right around here. What do I think it's going to do? Well, we could see maybe a spike to the high, but we had the whole Asian session working that high, so we may not even see that spike to the high. And then you can see the spike to the high did not happen. It was just a straight drop. So on to the euro-based pairs, or excuse me, the USD-based pairs. USD JPY. Now, what do we expect to be happening on the USD-based pairs? If the euro was working the highs, we expect the USD to be working the lows. We can see USD JPY had came down, created a low right here, low of the week, and then came and worked that low Asian session right before NFP. It was working the low of the week, and we can see that W formation. So that is another confirmation that we will see the US dollar get stronger and the euro get weaker, because the US dollar before NFP is, well, first of all, created the W formation at the low of the week and then worked off of that W formation in consolidation, a tight range, and then you can see that breakout. Next pair, USDCHF, we can expect it to be working the lows, and surely it is working the low of the previous day and the low of the day. Right before NFP. So here's the previous day before NFP. We can see the previous day's low was right here, right at that point right there. That's probably really annoying. I'm sorry. And then the low of the day was created right there, right before NFP. There was that bing, that little 1.2 pip candlestick wick to the low of the previous day, plus the spread. But you could have had your limit orders right there. Anyway, USDCHF working the low of the day right before NFP. USD CAD, basically the same thing as USDCHF, almost identical. Working the low of the previous day is being worked, and then you can see, not that I really trade these even, but there's kind of a head and shoulders pattern. But anyways, it was working the low of the day. You can see that W formation. Right before NFP, there's that spike to the low, up, and then rise. So all the USD pairs are working the lows. Odd USD, we can expect it to be working the high because it's the US dollar is on the other side. So what do you know? The US dollar, or excuse me, the Aussie created a high, and then that little head and shoulders pattern or M formation right here, and then right before NFP worked that high for a few hours and then dropped NFP. NZD/USD, same thing. We can expect it to be working a high because the US dollar is on the other side. NZD/USD, we can see it worked the previous day's high and then created that railroad track to the high, ping, right before NFP. And then NFP right there, boom. Next candle, boom. And then boom. Alright, last one, GBP/USD, same thing. Working the high of the day. There's the high. There's the little M formation at the high of the day. And then NFP is a drop. So all of these, every single one, every single pair we just analyzed, all the USD based pairs and all the Euro based pairs, were all in line with our analysis of the Euro working the highs and the US dollar working the lows, and that there will be a reversal or a possible reversal NFP or coming very soon, maybe after NFP. So this is a very good way to analyze and spot market manipulation as it is occurring on your charts. So we can see the Euro USD did exactly as we expected. We analyzed all the pairs that we mentioned, all Euro based pairs, all US dollar based pairs, and they were all doing what we expected them to do. And then NFP did exactly as expected. That 160 plus pip spike to the downside. Now, this can be done anytime. You know, you can do this before. This isn't a NFP only analysis type of deal. This is just a type of manipulation that we are working with. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you learned something new, please subscribe, like this video, go on to our links I had mentioned earlier, and you will definitely find some knowledge you will definitely enjoy. So thank you guys once again. Like the video, subscribe, share with your friends. Peace out.